Hit that button. We're live. Wow.
Hello, everyone.
We already got
Welcome,
18
Ryan.
people here.
Good to be here, guys.
All right, everybody. So, as usual, my co-host TN Aqua Robert is here, and our special guest tonight is Ryan from Wild's Fish Tanks.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely.
I gotta tell you, I remember a lot of your videos that I watched is when you was setting that fish room up, drilling them tanks.
Yep. Same here.
Yeah, man. That was fun. I mean, I enjoyed kind of piecing it together, like collecting all those tanks. And a lot of those tanks were used tanks. Like, I definitely hit up the dollar per gallon sale, but a lot of it is like mismatched tanks, just getting this deal here, that deal there. So a lot of good memories, kind of piecemealing it together.
That's crazy.
And
Yeah.
I like those collecting videos. Those are great too.
I'm actually I'm going collecting tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to film it or not, but I'm actually going to go collecting with some friends in some brackish or even kind of like saltwater. One of my buddies is trying to find this saltwater. It's called the file fish. It's like a goby type fish, and they live like in oysters or something. I don't know nothing about it, but I'm up for a good time. You know, usually I ship fish tomorrow, but with it being a holiday, I was like, I'm free. I'm down to tag along. So it should be cool to go out and collect and see fish.
Heck yeah.
We should probably do some hellos, Robert. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea.
All right. First one in that I see was Fish Room Fever. He said he's really looking forward to this. He must like you or something, Ryan. I don't know.
James
Hey,
is a good
James.
dude, man.
All right. We have Chris Aquazone. He was down at Triple Crown. That was Chris George. We got 3G. Corey Dorable Cali Aquarium. She's from California. I met her on Instagram. She's a very nice person, and she's getting really good at breeding them Corys. We also got the Fish Fam Christmas. I'm going to tell you what, that's going to be here before you know it.
Oh, it's coming up soon, boy. This year's went by so quick. I'm like, what happened?
We also have Alishon AS. We have Freaky Fish Lady, Jenny Lynn. We got Matt from Liquid Zoo. Also, fishfam.link. Mark Sterelson, Master Aquatics, just call me Eduardo, a.k.a. Eddie. We got the Merrick T in here, New Local Austin, Paul Sotero. How you doing, bud? QC Aquaholic. Whenever I see that, I think of maybe they need to go to an a fish tank or an AA meeting or something. We got Raphael Joseph, Richard Reynolds, Sandy Dowdy, Sarah J. Sieber, Scotty the Fish Freak, Skull Aquatics. We got Shelby from the Garden of Eater, and also Grant from the Garden of Eaters here, and the Zen Ginger. We got Amazon Research Center also. Danikin's here, and more's going to keep filing in. They like to do that, and I will forget. So everybody that I did miss, I apologize, and I'm going to say hello now.
Welcome, everyone, and we're so happy to have you all back here with us. And we got an awesome guest. I mean, super excited to have this guy on.
I appreciate it. And I want to say this real quick. First of all, welcome to everybody. A lot of names that I recognize seeing and meeting at the Triple Crown. I have no chat. So I'm on my phone right now, so I don't see the chat. I just want to let people know if people are commenting. I don't see it. But welcome, everybody. Good to be here.
So to piggyback on that, if you have any questions for Ryan, whenever we get into the discussion, go ahead, please put at Skipper's Aquariums, and I will show it to him. He'll be able to see it whenever I pop it up on the screen. Man, more people just keep filing in. This is nice.
Full house.
Heck yeah.
First question already. James from Fish Room Fever wants to know, what do you think the genetics of the snowball bristlenose in the hobby are looking like these days? I know they were having some issues for a while.
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually don't keep any, and I haven't kept any, kind of for that reason. Two reasons, actually. One reason is from a business standpoint. I'm not sure if the snow white pleco will ever catch on big term with everybody in terms of to the average hobbyist, like to me, to you, to everyone in this room, we could probably go, okay, snow white versus an albino versus a lemon blue eye. We probably know the difference. But at a certain point, there's someone that goes, they look at a snow white pleco, they look at an albino, and they go, why am I paying more for this? It's kind of the same thing. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of stayed away at first. But also, I heard a lot about people breeding genetics, buy a bunch of juveniles. None of them make it to adult stage. I have seen more recently for sale on Aquabid, eBay, just in general. So I don't know if that's because hopefully the line's getting a little more stable. The genetics are getting better. I have personally still have not to this day. I've never owned one. And I don't think I know anybody personally locally that has any like breeding colony of snow white plecos. But yeah, I can only hope that the genetics get stronger. But I've stayed away to this point in part because of that.
I gotta tell you, I've seen some videos and pictures on them. They're beautiful though.
They are stunning, man. That white, it's nice. But yeah, it's striking. It's striking. Especially the long fin, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely something different.
Do they come from the albino?
I believe
or
they
the lemons.
I believe they come from the lemons. If I'm not this is just going off of kind of my own observations and opinion, guessing. Because I have bred some lemons, and I've gotten some that looked kind of snow whitish. Okay, so I can only assume that the snow whites started where someone was breeding lemons, got some that looked really white, and kind of just line bred them. Kind of similarly to how the Green Dragon was developed, right? They found some that looked a little greenish, and they kind of worked on that for years and years and years. Greg Sage being the one that we most commonly know of to work on that line.
Oh yeah, Craig Sage is awesome.
Yeah,
fantastic breeder.
So, you like to do some native collecting. Paul Sotero had a question, wanting to know if you have caught what the heck am I doing? Caught any dwarf sunnies lately?
Yeah,
wow, really went south there.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Paul. I think Paul was there at the Triple Crown, right? Yeah,
yes, he
nice
was.
to meet you, Paul. Yeah, I have. This summer's been really weird. So normally in Florida, the way it works is like we have a rainy season and a dry season, more or less, right? So the summer in Florida is usually rainier, and then in the wintertime, there's not as much rain, so the water level's lower in like our creeks and ponds and such. Well, this summer it was so dry. Like I know it's been dry in a lot of areas across the United States and the world. So it was almost like winter conditions in terms of the water level was almost as low as it usually is in like December. So it was actually not the greatest collecting this summer because the water level was almost too low and it didn't have enough time for like the vegetation to grow. Because normally when you collect these fish, you want to get in that like first level of vegetation, that grass. That's where they all hang out. So I've caught some this summer, but it wasn't a great collecting summer, to be honest.
I can tell you up here, the rivers, and we had a lot of snow, but it just seemed like the rain couldn't keep up. Our rivers were getting pretty low. I thought about doing some native collecting myself because I was at the creek bank one day. A buddy of mine has a campsite down there, and I saw these darter-looking things, and I just wanted to try to catch them just to see what the heck they were.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool looking. There's like 10 of them in a group.
Yeah. No, it's always fun when you're not sure what the heck it is, and you finally, get out there. Have you guys ever had a chance to go collecting at all?
I have not, but it's definitely on my bucket list to do.
Have you,
for sure?
And because you're in Tennessee, Robert, where are you at? You're in the East Coast. You're somewhere like in Pennsylvania, right, Skipper?
Yeah, I'm in Pennsylvania.
I'm not sure what the rules and regulations are in Pennsylvania, but I'm pretty sure they're pretty tight in Tennessee, though. You got some cool fish in Tennessee, but they're pretty tight on the regulations and collecting and stuff, though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know them, like 100%, whatever, as far as what exactly are the regulations, but I do know that that you that like apparently that you're not supposed to keep anything.
Yeah, I think you may be right. I think you may be right. How far away are you from Chattanooga?
I'm roughly about 2 hours and a half.
Have you ever been to the Tennessee Aquarium there?
I've never been to that one, no. But,
You sh-
but I went to the one in Gatlinburg a couple of times.
Okay, because the one when we were up at the Triple Crown, we were talking to a gentleman who actually used to work at the Shed Aquarium in Chicago. He was actually working the AKA booth. I had a booth at Triple Crown next to the Killifish booth, and one of the gentlemen working the Killifish booth had a nice conversation with him, and he had mentioned how he used to work at the Shed Aquarium. And I was picking his brain about that, but he mentioned that the best aquarium to go to for an aquarist was actually the Tennessee Aquarium in Chattanooga. So on the way back, me and my two friends stopped there, and it was, dude, he was not lying. Like, they had a lot of cool native fish, and then other just like Tanganyikan, like a big, huge Tanganyikan tank. Like, it was a lot of really cool fish that we see in the hobby at the Chattanooga, at the Tennessee Aquarium in Chattanooga. So if you or anybody for that matter is ever in the area, definitely worth checking out.
Well, I'm going to have to call up Chattanooga Ed one day and set up something with him. That
Well,
do like a tag along.
He has an actual I think it's like a membership or something there, or he has a season passes. He loves going there. He goes there a lot.
Yeah, they have like 2 towers too. It's like the way it's designed. You take an escalator up to the top, and then you kind of walk down it. And each tower is like, one tower is freshwater and one tower salt water. So we did it like on the way back, like in the middle of a 13-hour road trip. So we just did the freshwater. But I can imagine the saltwater is just as cool, even if you're like me and don't know much about the saltwater fish.
Oh yeah, they're lovely to look at.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Steve,
But
yeah, I forget his name. It might have been Steve. He was a really cool dude. He lives in LA or California now, and he had like longer shoulder length hair, but really cool dude. Like I said, he was involved with the Killifish and used to work at Shed.
Richard Reynolds, which you had met there,
Dude,
or you may have met before.
I got to shout out not only Richard, I got to shout out his wife, man. Hey, oh my gosh, you want to talk about want to talk about a sweetheart going above and beyond. So my booth at the Triple Crown, which we can get into that later. Actually, the first person I saw at the Triple Crown was you, Skipper. When we walked into, me and my two buddies walked into the hotel. We were staying at a different one, and literally the first person I saw when we walked in was you. So it was really cool to meet you and say hi to you and see a friendly face that I, recognize from the internet at the convention. So it's cool. Like, whenever you're at a convention or someplace new and you get there, even if you know you're going to have a good time and stuff, until you actually meet that first connection, to see someone friendly face and like, get that warm welcome, it kind of puts you at ease. So definitely that was cool to see you and set the weekend off right.
I greeted a lot of people that came in because I wanted to meet everybody. And I didn't know you was going to be there. When I saw you, I was like, holy cow, I got to say hi to Ryan.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great.
Speaking of collecting, I noticed that the videos, that I've seen you do, that you choose those certain kind of nets, but anyway, where do you get those nets at? I mean, like, do you got like a website that you go to buy them from or something?
Yeah, so that's a great question, actually. So over the years, there's a couple out there, and this is going to be maybe like a half answer, because how do I go about this? I've been ordering nets for a couple of years from different people, and there's different things I like about different nets. Okay, and I've been working behind the scenes to try to create my own net, let's say. Okay, so I'm close to that. So there's not one out there that I'd recommend. There's some good ones out there. I've used a bunch, and I've ordered them from places that like school specialty websites, different like wholesale collecting. Like I've ordered probably like 10 different nets in the last 2 years to try to work on different things. So hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next month or two, you'll be able to go to my website and buy a net that I'll put my name behind.
Awesome.
It'll work well for you. So that's the goal here. I heard it here first.
Heck yeah.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
James said, yeah, Tennessee is a no-no. Lots of back and forth with the TWR game fish. Can be kept, but no bait fish, a.k.a. things we want. Yeah, see, that's a tough one here in Pennsylvania, too, because there is really nothing in black and white. But if you have a fishing license, you're good, but they don't really say certain ones you can keep. I need to research that some more because it ain't making no stinking sense to me.
It's not just you, man. We had my dogs. So at the Space Coast Aquarium Society, which big shout out to Space Coast Aquarium Society. They meet in Titusville and Mims, Florida, which is like the east coast of Florida. And they've only been going on for like 4 or 5 months, but we get like 40, 50 people every month. It's a great club. But last month, we actually had a gentleman from the FWC, which in Florida, that's like the regulatory body, right? I know different states, different things, but in Florida, the FWC is that's who regulates this stuff. And this guy was very helpful, but he admitted, like in the state of Florida and federally, like some of these laws are very gray area. And he's like, you probably should be cool if you do this, but like he admitted that like it's a lot of gray area with a lot of this stuff. In Florida, the good thing is, and the one thing that he did specify, as long as you have your licenses in Florida, the what James is talking about in Florida, the non-game fish, the bait fish, you're good on those because those are the ones that we like James was saying, the minnows, the darters, all that little stuff. That's by Florida considers that all non-game fish, bait fish, which is usually like not regulated at all, if very little,
Yeah, because it's funny because here in Pennsylvania, you can catch your own bait fish and then use it. Well, in between that, as long as you have your fishing license, well, in between that, like, if you have extra and you don't want to turn them back in, you want to use them for the next trip, could you possibly get in trouble? Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I made a 100-gallon stock tank, one of them Rubbermaid ones. Me and my neighbor, we were going catching our own bait fish like a couple days before. I threw them in there, and I was feeding them bloodworms and everything, and it was like they really don't say. Like
I feel like that's probably fine. At least in Florida. At least I don't know about Pennsylvania, but in Florida, that's what he pretty much said. He's like, listen, if it's non-game bait fish, you can keep it in the aquarium, right? I think there's like one exception, which is the blue nose shiner. But other than that, like I said, it's a blacklist situation where everything's good except for the blue nose shiner and maybe a couple other ones.
Yeah, because it's probably something that's rare and maybe a little bit endangered.
That's exactly what the case is for the blue knife shiner. Yeah.
Yeah, and that there is one thing I do know, and Alishon brought it up earlier, but I was going to buy a crayfish off of somebody out in California. Then I was like, wait a minute, I better look this up. You're not allowed to have them here in Pennsylvania because what they do is they will kill the natives and take over their habitats. So they're like, nah.
Big no. Yeah, a lot of times with crayfish and snails, you gotta be really careful shipping that stuff. Even some plants, there's like same thing in Florida. Like the laws around collecting plants in Florida, I don't take plants out of the wild. I know a lot of them. Like we have some cool plants down here, like some pitcher plants, which are like carnivorous plants. Like kind of like Venus flytrap stuff. But you can't collect that stuff. And I don't even collect the water plants.
So James said, from the TWRA letter, we encourage you to enjoy the fishes of Tennessee. So pretty much get a fishing license and put them back.
Yeah.
So Ryan, so I gotta ask, what's the coolest fish that you caught while you was out collecting?
Man, okay, that's a really good question actually. The first one that comes to mind is called the pike live bear, and it's not a native fish. It's actually they're established here, so it's an invasive fish. It's not like widespread. It's not the most havoc causing fish, but it's the scientific name is the Belanoxix. It's like it's a live bear, like a guppy, but it's a carnivore. It's like a long skinny fish. It looks like a pike, and the females can actually get like 9 inches long, like really big.
Wow.
But I first found them last year at the ALA. I didn't even really know much about them, but kind of like I'm doing tomorrow. I was at the ALA last year, and some buddies were like, "Hey, we want to find this fish down even further south," because I was in South Florida. They wanted to even go further South Florida, like not a part of like the trip with the ALA. The ALA had some collecting groups together, like sanctioned. Oh, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go there. These guys like, no. We want to go off this crazy place and just find this fish. And I was like, I'm down. So we went ahead and we did that, and it was this cool fish I'd never heard of. And like I said, it was just a really probably most unique fish that I've collected. The most recent cool one though is it was a brackish water species called what is it called? Not the Lake Eustis pupfish. Oh shoot, sheep's head minnow. The sheep's head minnow. So it kind of looks as the body of a flagfish. Of a flagfish, but it's kind of more brackish water. And it's not exactly anything like, it's not more colorful than a flagfish, but it's just unique, and I never came across it before. And I just randomly wasn't looking for it a couple weeks ago and just came across it randomly. So it's just kind of a surprise and cool.
I'm sure you probably got a lot of that throughout your collecting, because you're not, especially in Florida, like you guys, at least South Florida, they got a lot of invasive stuff. You can go throw a net and pull up,
cichlids and whatnot.
Cichlids, knife fish. It's like, yeah, we know those didn't come from there.
No.
You go noodling for plecos.
Dude, that's one thing I can't complain about, man. There's a lot of diversity. Like, it's to the point where, like, I know in some states you go and like you're happy to get like a fish in the net, whatever it is. In Florida, like almost every net, not in every spot, but in a lot of spots, almost every net is going to have some fish. It may just be gambusia or something, but it's still cool. Like I used to do a lot of insurance adjusting for roofs. Like I still do insurance stuff, but I used to actually go on the road and do a lot of roof repairs and like not myself, but do a lot of insurance claims for roofs. So I'd be trained to like drive around and look for missing shingles, because that was like my job is to like, okay, if roof's got missing shingles, they maybe need to repair. Well, now when I'm driving around, I have my net, my bucket in my car, and looking for like bodies of water. I'm just like training myself, like, oh, what could be in there? Maybe what could be in there? So the other day I was just driving somewhere and I stopped in this like ditch, and I thought it may be nothing, but it was like just crayfish. Like every net was like, I'm not exaggerating, 20, 30 crayfish, like babies. It was like a crayfish nursery just on the side of this road in this ditch, And I was like, I had no use for them. I put them all back, but it was just a kind of a cool little discovery,
Well, at least keep it if you know someone wants some bait for fishing. Hey, go over here and get these.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I don't know anybody that has like a bunch of puffers or something, but that would be like an endless, an endless source of food for some puffer fish. I mean, this is a wild. You gotta be careful. You have like a cherished puffer, go and feed them crayfish out of the wild. You gotta be careful. But
I meant like for fishing. That would be
that makes sense.
Yeah, because you got to purge them first. Because oh man, they're nasty. But once you purge them and you cook them, they're great.
Purging, that's where they take like salt and they put it in the water, and then they just like let it run over because it makes them like poop and all that stuff.
Yeah, it goes through their system and it gets all poop and other impurities out, so that it tastes better.
Yeah, I mean, because I could imagine they would taste a lot better without all that poop in them.
Oh yeah. Skull Aquatic said they're having the perfect dip net is from.
Yeah, that's one I use. That's also one I used to recommend them a lot. I remember I recommended a guy one in June and he still hasn't gotten it yet. So I hate to recommend someone to something and then 3 months later they paid the money, they still don't have the product. So that's kind of why I stopped recommending that.
It's QC Aquaholic. Are there invasive species in Florida as bad as the collecting fishing YouTube videos make it seem.
If you're talking about, and I'm not going to name names here. This is kind of it's a great question. It's a great question. Let's just say there's a lot of channels out there that are staging stuff. It's actually, I'm not one to stir up drama or go after people. You know, as far as I can tell, they're a lot of times they're using traps. What they do is they go to the fish store, they buy fish, they put it inside of a trap, like a crayfish trap. They put the fish inside the trap, right? Instead of like baiting the trap, they put the fish they want to catch in the actual trap. Then they throw the trap out there, right? And they start rolling. They reel it in. They go, oh my gosh, look, we caught, crazy fish that you only found at the pet store, but it's here in the wild, right? The truth is there wild species in Florida that are crazy like Oscars and knifefish? Yes. Are you going to go, do I know a couple locations that have do I know one location that's sparkling Grammies and one that has, swordtails? Yes. Can you just go to random spots, throw a trap, and then catch like Corridoras? No, there's no Corridoras living in freaking Florida. It ain't happening. And a lot of these other fish, angelfish, there's no population of this stuff living in Florida. So Midas cichlid, Mayan cichlids, yes, that exists. But some of these videos I've been seeing recently, these people catching this stuff in these traps, it's all made up. It's fugazi. It's for views.
Yeah, I think it's the ones that are like the ones that you see whenever they use a fish net, like when they do the throw and stuff. You see a lot of the knife fish, the peacock bass,
that's all legit. That's all legit. Like I said, a lot of there's a lot of that in South Florida. It's the ones where it's like the common aquarium fish. Like I said, that's being exaggerated to say the least.
They're just trying to get some subs.
Unfortunately, it works. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Don't they say like? I don't know if this is staged or not, but I seen some where they was catching those. I think they're called jewel cichlids.
That's not staged. I come across jewel cichlids, especially in South Florida. Yeah, you can come across jewel cichlids. They're in Orlando, Tampa. They're widespread, and you can
cool.
Some of them are kind of but you can find some nice looking ones too that are just in the wild.
Well, a lot of that, I wonder if a lot of that comes because June brought up this perfectly good thing. The hurricanes down there, because you guys got fish farms and everything. So unfortunately, that would be a good contributor to it, I would say.
Yeah, there's a lot of hoplo catfish. A lot of there's a lot of stuff that got released years ago with hurricane overflows. I mean, I know spots. There's a lot of spots in Florida where there's been fish farms. There still is to this day. And you go to the ditches and you can find, like I said, like aquarium strain fish that were not released by hobbyists, but they were just overflow from farms. So that definitely exists a lot. And we have big farms that people don't know about down here, or not a lot of people know about, like fish farms, like food fish farms, those like arapaima. There's farms in Florida that grow arapaima for food.
Really?
As far as I know, I don't think anyone's done a YouTube video one before. That's where that two or so years ago there was they found a dead arapaima in the St. Johns River.
Yes,
and there was a news oh my God, there's breeding population of arapaima now in Florida. No, someone went to one of these farms, stole it out of the farm, and either killed it and released a dead body, or released it into the river, then it died. But that's where that came from. It was a fish from a farm breeding them for food.
That's crazy. Yeah, I do remember hearing about that because that actually hit the internet. It went wide.
Yeah, because people were talking about, because that would be a big thing if there's an arapaima breeding,
that would be a devastation. I mean, they would wipe out a whole lot of species.
Yeah. Those
Damn
things
near
are
everything.
man.
Yeah, powerful, and they got a big food appetite too, apparently.
Yeah.
Beautiful fish, though. I mean, just absolutely stunning. But
yeah, I couldn't imagine. I'm sitting in front of my biggest tank is in front of me. I have a 180-gallon front Tulsa tank, and that's my most expensive fish. I feed them a lot of frozen foods and stuff like that. But I couldn't imagine the arapaima food bill.
Well,
oh man.
Listen, you go to the frozen fish section in Walmart. It's really expensive nowadays. Getting that tilapia and shrimp and all kinds of stuff.
Shoot, it's
I like
$10 a pack, or if not more.
Yeah. Yeah, the next question is there really live bait fish vending machines in Florida?
I'm not sure about that. It's been a while since I've been to a bait and tackle shop, and I've heard of stories of people going to the bait store and buying like some bait fish and actually finding like some cool natives in there. Like every once in a while, some like cool like a bluefin keely fish or a darter will come into like the bait fish. But I don't know. I've never seen one, but I don't go out fishing a lot, so I wouldn't be the best person to ask.
Yeah, because I know where that's coming from because I've seen some videos with that in. And I'm like, that's kind of, I don't know, that would be like how Petco does bettas in them things. And I don't know. I don't think that's real.
Last time I bought, I was like either the beginning of this year or the end of last year. I went to a bait store and I bought like a thing of red worms, but it just came like in a regular tub, like always. I didn't have to go to a vending machine.
Want to know about Sarah Seaver? Want to know about common plecos? Are they really as prolific in your waterways as people say?
Yeah, I mean it depends on the waterway, but yeah, they're pretty widespread. They're in a lot of different waterways and they cause a lot of havoc. If there's one fish that is like the poster child for like invasive fish in Florida that's causing problems, it's the pleco.
You know, speaking of them, there's some here too. I mean, because I've caught them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a hook and worm, you know, whatever. Yeah, I mean, you know, like
that's crazy.
I mean, like you don't catch them, you know what I mean, like all the time, you know, just like one every like 2 years or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're here though.
Another one we have down here that a lot of people don't realize is the hoplo catfish. You know, some people people keep them in an aquarium sometimes, but we got a lot of those. I think they're like in South America. You have some hoplos?
Yeah, but it's not the one that gets big like Bob Kaler has.
Okay.
His freaking hoplos are like almost 10 inches, and this one he's only 5.
Yeah, I think
That's
the ones. I mean, I don't know the different species. The ones we've had down here, I've definitely seen get to like not 10 inches, but I've seen them get to like 4 or 5 for sure. And they always like are darting up to get air. They always come up to the surface and get air and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, last year at Keystone Clash, I got the regular, and then I bought the albino, and then unfortunately I got sick in November, and my fish must have, felt bad for me, and they all got sick, and I didn't get to it until too late, and it was hell.
That's hell. They're like, Dad, well, since you're sick, we're gonna be sick with you.
That was rough. Thank you, Zen, because I was about to get into his links a little bit here. One of the things he does have is a website.
Absolutely. Check it out, guys. If you ain't seen it, highly recommend it.
And we are going to show it. There you go. Wildfishtanks.com. He has quite a few. He got some species of fish on there, but he breeds them out himself at his house, and then he puts them up for sale.
Yeah, I don't bring in anything. Well, all the fish that I have on my website are either bred by me, and what I've started in the last couple months is some of them are bred by my friends too. So none of them. I don't buy any from like big wholesalers or anything like that. But they're either bred by me or they're bred by my friends, people I trust and I know. So that's why, the stock, I try to keep it as in stock as possible with the live fish, but it can be hit or miss. But yeah, the shirts, caves, like I said, hopefully dip nets in the next month or two is the plan.
So I brought this up for a reason.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. We got to tell about this. This is hilarious.
It wasn't planned or nothing, but when he came backstage, I showed him my my shirt. I was like, "Hey, look, I got one of your shirts." He goes, "You got to be kidding me!" He comes on camera. He's wearing the same one, so he went and changed.
I had to go. I changed into this one, but I wore that exact same shirt, and we were going to be twinsies.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's free.
I had a really good time at the Triple Crown. Oh, I forgot. I didn't finish the story with the shirt. So Richard Reynolds, his wife, long story short, when I got there, it was me and my two buddies who helped me with the table, Logan and Magnus, amazing guys. But we're all guys that are not like the best at like folding shirts. So I had like 17 different shirt designs laid out on the table, and they're kind of folded, but folded how I would fold a shirt, not the greatest. Well, Richard, who I met him last year, and his wife at the ALA last year, they come over, and his wife was like just insistent on folding all my shirts. So just amazing. They're amazing people regardless. That's not the only reason they're amazing people. But she sat there for, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes and just meticulously like just folded each and every one of the shirts I had. And it was just amazing of her to do that.
That's crazy. That's good though. It helped you out.
Yeah, no, for sure. It made it much easier to present the shirts for the rest of the week because, yeah, that was like the first day. Yeah, she came over and just like hooked it up big time.
I like these colors on these shirts that you have. That hunter green and
I got 6 new ones. I'm gonna be placing another order soon. So I work with a designer to make all the art because I'm not that talented, but I come up with all the stupid sayings. So I got 6 new ones. I had a lot of good feedback after Louisville, and I made a shirt. I'm gonna have a new one with a goldfish, one with a rainbow fish, one with a keely fish, one with a discus, one with a. I got 6. I got 2 more. I got some new designs coming soon. I had a lot of good feedback from the Triple Crown.
ooh, stickers.
Yeah, he got some pretty nice stickers. I got this one here, the Corridora Panda Corey. So what? Oh, I just had the question. I lost it. See, I don't script this. I just go with the flow.
No, that's all good.
I don't like scripting because I don't want to sound like a robot. You know what I mean?
I can show you. Like I said, I can show you. I don't think we can go into the fish cave. Might be choppy, but I got 2 big tanks right here. We can look at if you want.
Sure,
we can go ahead and do that.
absolutely.
When you
These
get there,
guys are. You gotta bear with me because they were explaining to me how to do this. Let me see here.
Thank you too, man. I mean, because I'm sure that everybody in here would love that tour.
Yeah, let me see. All right, so you have to. This is what I was talking about. Can you guys see that or no? Because I can't see you guys anymore.
Yep. Please see it.
All right, so this is my 180 Frontosa tank. We can see if we can see. I think the girl that's facing away from us right now, she's the one that's holding. Let's see if she'll turn around. She looks like she got a jawbreaker in her mouth. You excuse the algae on the tank because I've actually had at least one female holding for at least a month. I think one swallowed. Now another one's holding. Can you tell she's got like her mouth kind of closed compared to the other ones? You know, she looks like she's got like a jawbreaker, you know. So I'm excited. Hopefully, I'm gonna let them hopefully hold the term. The first 2 times they swallowed. Then I put them in this tumbler one time, and they all fungused on me. So this time I'm gonna let them hold again and see what happens. But fingers crossed.
They are very nice, nice looking cichlid.
I would love to have some of them, but I just don't have a tank big enough to hold them.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway. One of these days down the road, I will. Like a 240 or something.
Yeah,
or maybe 240.
That'd be a good size tank. It's just these guys. Like there's 7 of them, so it's just the 7 Frontosa in 180 gallon, and they do pretty good. But yeah, it's definitely my biggest tank by far. The next biggest tank I have is a 55. I don't even have a 75.
What size tank is that one?
This is a 180. So it's it's 6 foot by 6 foot long, 2 foot front to back, and then 2 foot top to bottom, and 2 foot front to back.
Wow.
He's all scared. I don't know if you can hear it. It's like thundering out here, so he's all like scared. I've been surrounded by my dogs. I got this one's over here, and he's the real big baby. So whenever it's thundering, he's like,
he's like, Daddy, hold me.
He's like, his name is Bo, but I called him Bosquito because he's like a mosquito. He's like on me always, like Velcro. These guys are cool. These guys are the albino Hecali, the Geophagus.
Oh, nice.
So I got a bunch of these from Aquatic Arts. Actually, I got 9. I got 8 that made it, and I got them. They're pretty small, but they're growing out. Hopefully I got some males and females, but this is like a I don't think I've shown anybody this before. But I've had these for a while, just growing them out in a 55 here.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, they're starting to get that. It's hard to tell, but they're starting to get that orange on them. Some of them are starting to get that yellowy orange to them.
Oh man, these are pretty nice.
This one might be a nice male. Who knows?
You know, like they do kind of look like those. I think they're called like redhead Tapajos or something.
Yeah.
The Geophagus ones, they get like the long trailers on them.
Yep. I don't know
Those
a
guys
ton
are
about
beautiful.
Geophagus. I know there's a bunch. I've had a couple before. This is the ones I really wanted. I know that Primetime Aquatics has these or has had these before. I think Mike at Imperial Tropical, he's had these before. He might have some. They're around. I know a lot of people, they'll get male heavy with them and they'll beat up on each other. They're pretty peaceful, but I got to upgrade them soon because I know that they'll eventually they're not known to be super aggressive, but as they get sexually mature, I know they can beat up on each other.
Those are stunning fish. I mean, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, they're only like that's probably like a 2 or 3 inch fish right there. They can get to like I think 8 to 10 inches. So they're gonna need a bigger tank eventually.
Those are nice though. You could probably keep a breeding pair in there though.
Yeah, once I get them sexed out, I had my buddy Chad was over here about a month ago, and he was looking at them, and he's much better at sexing them. I think I got some females. I think hopefully I got a female or two. We'll see. But yeah, it'd be cool to
Eduardo,
breed
laugh
them.
out loud.
Yeah, Eduardo is being funny.
But yeah, man. I mean, oh my goodness, both of those tanks are really nice setups. You got some
Yeah.
big rock in there.
Yeah, I don't really do much in terms of like aquascaping and stuff. Yeah, I forget where I got these rocks. There's the male. The male's he's not even that. I mean, he's decent size. He's probably 8 or 9 inches. This is like a young group. It's like their first time. Like the female that's holding is only like 4 inches or something like that. 4 or 5 inches big.
Oh, okay.
So they're still young.
How big do they max out at usually?
Well, I saw dude, if you go to the Tennessee Aquarium, they got a tank where there's got to be a couple that are 15, 16 inches. And like, they look like a double-decker bus, like twice as high as that guy, like from bottom to top. Like I'm talking about twice as high and probably 3 times as long. Just they can get beastly.
Yeah,
And
I'm
they
gonna
get
have to
the males
go up
get-
there.
The males get a big nuchal hump too.
Yeah, that's that one. That's the male right there. You can see a little bit of nuchal hump, but as they grow, like some of the ones at the aquarium, like their nuchal hump was like so big, like it was touching their lip, like it was getting so big and like dropping down almost. Yeah.
Wow. So somebody asked if they're native to Florida.
No, these guys are from Lake Tanganyika. I wish you can catch these in Florida.
And then, Sarah Sieber wanted to know how far away you are from Savannah, Georgia.
That I'm not sure. I'm in Orlando, so however far Orlando is from Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, that's a drive.
Yeah, it's definitely not around the corner.
No, it's definitely a drive.
I've been to Savannah though. They got a really cool St. Patty's Day.
Well, I've been to Savannah, Georgia, to get off the plane and then go to Fort Benning, Georgia.
I can't get back to the stream.
But
We see you.
Let me see. No, I know, which is fine. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Boom. Okay, sorry.
Alishawn wanted to know if you know Chuck Davis or Rick.
Or who?
I can't say his last name.
Oh,
Corsair.
okay. I can see it now. I can see the chat now. I may know Rit. The name Rit sounds kind of familiar, but yeah, Chuck Davis. Chuck Davis is a character. He's a guy from the Gold Coast Aquarium Society, a really talented artist as well. But yeah, I know who Chuck Davis is. He's a good guy.
Also, here in about 15 minutes, the next person coming up is Susie Q. Make sure y'all go over. Oh, and Kenny's saying it's probably about 12 hours. Yeah, it's a drive. Well, heck,
Yeah, I think Savannah's like in the northern part of Georgia too. So yeah, it's a good.
Yes.
I know it's going to be at least 3 hours for me to get to like the Florida Georgia border, probably at least. So.
Ryan, buddy, I have to ask you, when are you going to bring back that um, um, fish Rick Flair
Fish
guy?
Flair?
You know where he goes, woo!
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to do something eventually, man. I don't know. I love whenever someone brings that video up. I love it because like it's just like it was so fun to make because like the crossover between like old school wrestling and fish is not like the biggest, but if you know it, it's funny and like stupid and funny. So
I do.
I loved it.
I enjoy making videos like that. Like I enjoy just like goofy stuff. So I gotta Fish Flair will be back sooner or later, in some shape or form for sure. So
That's awesome.
And I like your tours, you know what I mean, that you do too. You know, like what's that fish farm called? I think it's called like Bio Aquatics that you done, and a couple more. I mean,
yeah,
those are awesome too.
I'm lucky to be around some really just knowledgeable people here in Florida, like Andres at Bio Aquatics, like you said. He's a super knowledgeable guy. He's the first kind of guy to let me just, be like, hey, can I like film your setup here? I'm just this guy with a camera, like I don't know how many subscribers I had, not a lot. I'd never done a tour of anyone before, but I kind of built a relationship with him over like a year and a half buying fish from him. And like he trusted me.
Jenny Lynn.
I see it. It was very awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, the Triple Crown, man, and it was a pleasure meeting you as well, Jenny Lynn. Like to meet everybody, like I'll talk your ear off. Like I just enjoy that part of it. The passion, just people. I say like the fish got me to the hobby, but the fish people keep me in the hobby. Like if I know I'm a terrible YouTuber and stuff like that, but every month I go to 3 aquarium clubs now, like clockwork, and that keeps me juiced. Like going to these meetings with other people and getting to feed off of their energy. The fish people are just awesome.
Oh, here. So Chuck is originally from New Jersey. He used to publish the New JAS newsletter. Till recently, he comes up from time to time. We miss him in Northeast, but Rick is from Connecticut and is a library guy.
Okay, I'll have to do some more research on Rick, but yeah, Chuck is well known and well respected for sure.
Oh, Garcia. He wants to know if those are his frontos.
Garcia, man, I think Garcia has more than me though. His are nice. I've seen his before.
Mm-hmm.
And also I got a question too. So when do you think that like maybe possibly that like you and Lucas will go collecting together maybe?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm open to it. I know he's been super busy, like building his new fish where I don't know what he's calling it. It's crazy. I haven't had a chance to see it personally. But I'm so lucky that because now he goes to one of the clubs I go to, if not 2. He's usually at least one of the clubs that I go to, Pasco County, every month. He's there. So I've had a chance to really kind of get to know him a little more. So it's only a matter of time before him and I and probably Grant too all go out collecting and get together.
Grant is a good guy, man. I mean, just super nice guy.
Grant and Shelby both. Yeah.
And I mean, they got some of the prettiest, the shrimp, that I've seen in a while. I mean, the Caradina, the Neos. I mean,
he's been at it
got
for
some
a while.
nice setups.
He's been working at it for a while. He's got nice shrimp. And you want to talk about being busy building stuff like Lucas is, they are too. Like their whole house is like I think I saw a picture earlier today where they said they posted like pretty much a maze now, like their living room it's like tanks. It's like a maze just to even get to the big wall.
That's crazy.
Super cool though, man. Definitely jealous of that.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm not jealous of their water change routine though.
Right. Buckets
No.
and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know if they have it. When I was there, they didn't have it on order water change. But it's a well-oiled machine. Like it's a family. It's a family thing, right? So they all pitch in. It's they got it worked out. It's smooth.
So what is one of your favorite fish you like collecting out there?
Man, seeing a male flagfish is always pretty stunning. Like when you just like the net and you see that flagfish and the colors pop in the sunlight, the reds and the greens, a little bit of blue. It really doesn't ever get old seeing that in the net. Yeah, that's probably because you come across them often enough that it happens every once in a while, but not often enough that it's like every net, obviously, So it's still kind of like that wow moment, even though you've seen it before. It's still kind of it's pretty cool to see them in the wild.
When you catch these natives and then you take them home, what's the common meds that you have to like use for them? To treat different things.
Usually salt is what I use most of the time. I don't necessarily like pre-medicate fish. Although recently I was talking with a bunch of people about sailfin mollies in particular and just having issues where the sailfin mollies sometimes, even with a little bit of salt, can like waste away on you. So I was talking with some people about potentially them having like internal worms. So I'm going to start trying General Cure on sailfin mollies that I collect. But the best thing is always if you can collect them and then like breed them out 1 or 2 generations, that's even, now you got them where they're not going to have parasites. They're even that much more comfortable in your water. But usually just salt. And then, like I said, a General Cure.
Okay. Awesome. Well, everybody jot that down because it's going to be a time, that you want to go out collecting and then you want to bring them home. So now you know what to do.
Yep. And it can vary from species to species, whereas like least keely fish, flagfish, like they're pretty hardy. A lot of the shiners and minnows, like they'll fall apart on you. Like even if you have those out of the like in your net for too long, they'll start to degrade and fall apart on you. So it takes time, like you learn. Some fish are hardier than others. But yeah. I think you muted yourself.
Jay wants to know what live foods that you are doing currently.
Right now, I am running. What do I have? I got micro worms. Well, no, actually, I have banana worms and Walter worms, which are pretty much like micro worms. And I have. I got a culture of red Daphnia at Triple Crown, but I think I already killed them all off. I'm trying to think of what else I'm running right now. I got some Grindle worms, but I don't have them booming right now. I can never get Grindle. I can get Grindle worms kind of like going. But I got vinegar eels too. Vinegar eels and Walter worms are the ones I really have going. Like I said, Daphne, I'm pretty sure I killed them off. And then Grindle worms, I got them going, but not as good as I'd like to right now.
Speaking of Daphnia, I found it was I believe it or not, it's at Petco. I couldn't believe it. It was mainly for the salt water, but you can feed Daphnia to the fresh water, but it was in a freaking bag. And I'm looking in there, I'm like, there's no stinking way. There's no stinking way. It was in like it came from a factory type place that does a lot of fish food. And I'm like, this can't be good. And I was looking and I didn't see nothing swimming in there. I was like, this can't be right. It was really weird. I was thinking somebody planted that there or something because I never seen it before.
That's odd.
Yeah, it was real good.
Yeah, I need to find. I just at the Triple Crown. What did you get in your goodie bags? You know those little the baggie you got? Like I got a can of. Did you get a can of food? I got a can of the Cyclops.
I got the bloodworms.
Okay.
I fed them once to the Corys. Like if you put San Francisco Bay in there, like you thaw it out and just put it on the bottom and go nuts for it. So I put some of the can bloodworms in there, and they really didn't want to mess with it.
That's it. Because I got the can of Cyclops, and I had heard of it before, and I actually just popped it open for the first time yesterday. And one of the things I fed it to was my Corys, and they went crazy for it.
Yep.
So now I'm like, okay, I may like look into the Cyclops thing more. I don't know, like, can you culture Cyclops in freshwater or no? Is it a saltwater thing?
I don't know much about them. I get them frozen,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And yeah, my Corys get freaking nuts over them too.
Yeah, because usually I have my Corys in a tank with some angelfish, and usually when I feed, the angelfish come out, and the Corys will come out later. They don't like. This time I fed, and the Corys, like, they didn't care about the angelfish. They just came out. They're like, "What is that? We need this right now."
Yeah, I've heard good things about the Cyclops, but even James is saying about the can of bloodworms. I believe he don't like them either. It's just I don't know. It's just canned worms for some reason. It just doesn't seem right. But for some reason, that Cyclops, Maria Z likes it too. She uses them.
Okay.
I don't know the bloodworms. I just think maybe it's because of the color, because it's gray.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that definitely does bring a whole new meeting to popping open a can of worms, don't it?
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, so Depths Unknown, which is Jason. You got to meet him also.
Yeah. He also goes by. Is that also Misfit? Right? Or used to be
Yep.
Misfit?
No, he used to be
Oh,
the
no,
general
yeah.
fish keeper.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Sorry,
okay,
Jason.
Yeah. I get about, yeah. Okay. Yes.
Misfit is Brennan.
Okay.
but,
Brennan's taller, right? He's taller.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. But Jason says, yeah, Cyclops in a shrimp tank, so I'm sure it's possible.
Okay, so it is a thing. Okay. I'm going to look into that because all I know is I heard about them before. I never fed Cyclops, whether it was like live, frozen, nothing at all. But when I think, because like, how would the canned Cyclops? It almost looked like caviar. I'm not a big. It was like kind of like a right. I don't know how else to explain it. It was like caviar, but they
It's
love
true.
it.
James says you can do it, and then I don't know if you know this guy, TM Aquatics.
Hey, Tom. Good to see you, man.
Hey, I've been talking to Tom in a minute, man.
Yeah, he says you need.
Yeah, I
you
see
need
he's been hoarding up on more Corys. He's outpacing.
Yeah.
me.
Oh, Tom, TM Aquatics.
I actually got some of his the Barbados off of him. Love them.
Yeah.
There was some. Oh, I actually got some Black Schultz eye off of him too. They're doing great. All them fish are doing great, Tom.
Are those the ones that are like they're really black? They're a little elongated body, right? They're kind of a little bit longer, narrow body. No.
Well, the Barbados are the longer ones, and the
Okay.
Black Schultz are the same as a regular Cory.
Got you.
They used to be called. A lot of people call them the Black Venezuelans, but they came and figured out that they're actually the Schultz eye.
Got you.
And also, Tom, the plecos that I got from you, they're doing fantastic. They have doubled in size since I got them. And
Which one did you get, Robert? You get some L397s or
the L134s.
no? Is that the leopard frog?
Yep.
Oh heck yeah, heck
Yep.
Yeah, he got quite a few of them. Holy
Yeah.
cow! It's 7 o'clock.
I got it. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm
My
not.
goodness, dude.
Wow,
Time
we could
has
go on
flew
for
by.
hours.
My
Well-
goodness. Keep going.
Unfortunately, we're going to end this because Suzy Q is live right now. I got the thing on my phone. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, where did this go? We'll have to bring it up some other time. We got more stuff we could talk about because I had some other questions too.
Yeah,
But, Yeah, thanks everybody for showing up. The lurkers, everybody in chat, and definitely the mods for posting links for us.
Absolutely.
Y'all are wonderful. Thank you, Robert, for being my co-host again this week.
Well,
And
thank
Ryan-
you, Skipper, for having me.
You're welcome, buddy. And Ryan for being our special guest this week.
no problem. Glad
Thank
to be
you so
here.
much, Ron.
And yeah, definitely big shout out to the lurkers. That's what I'm a big time lurker, and like
Mhm.
I like do live stream replays usually. If I'm not lurking, usually I'm watching the replay. To be honest, so big shout out to the replay crew and the lurkers because that's where I'm at.
Absolutely. Man, I had a blast. And thank you, chat, for coming in and hanging out with us. And play Lubians. And we'll see you next time.
All right, everybody, peace. Have a good evening.